Welcome to the third lesson of SmartKnitter, Knit Instructions Level 1. In this class, we will explain the top menu tools and their functions. Let's briefly talk about the interface. There is a top drop-down menu, which we will simply refer to as the top menu from now on. Then there is the toolbar, with the most commonly used functions and display options beneath the top menu. In the top right corner, there is the pen panel for drawing pen options. Today, we will focus on the top menu first. Click on File, then Create New Image to create new files. The toolbar also has a button for fast access. When creating a file, a pop-up window will appear where you can set the width and height. Next, you can select either General Image or Knit Image. In a knit image, there are various layers and a special toolset for knitting panels. In a general image, there are no layers, and the toolset is different. There is also a Create New Project mode, a specialty function that we will explain in a later episode. Next, there is Read to open saved files on the computer. When you open a previously saved file, it will open with properties matching the file type. Images like BMP will be in 256 color general image, while JPG will be in full color general image. Move on to Save to save the active document. Save As is used to save the active document into a new file. You can select the path to save, type the name here, and press Save to confirm. Then there is Import Image. You can import BMP, JPG, TIFF, PNG, GIF, and SmartGraph SGF files into the active document. When you import an image, an import option prompt appears on the right side. You can resize the image by clicking this icon and set the starting point for resizing on the canvas. If needed, you can click the icon again to lock the ratio. Press F3 to change the origin of the image. Click on the desired location to paste the image onto the canvas. Next, let's look at the Export Image function. You can select the image type you prefer for export. During export, you can select the color profile of the image. Export to Schema, export knit structure, and export to PDS format will be discussed in a later episode as they are for specific uses. Moving on to import and export palette. You can edit the color in the palette by double-clicking the color chip in the color palette. There are various modes, including RGB, HSV, and lab modes, for you to make changes to the color. If you want to export the palette for later use, you can do so. To import it back into another file, simply use the Import Palette function. The Scan function allows you to scan images directly into the software. The Print function allows you to print the canvas. In Page Setup, you can change the margin and how the image is aligned on the print page. Print to File exports the current view of the image as a digital file, including grids and knit simulations if toggled on. Print Graph and Print Jacquard Punch Card are legacy functions that are not used in machine knitting production. In Properties, as mentioned earlier, you can change the canvas size and image type. Below Properties, you have a list of recently opened files for quick access. In Edit, there are Undo, Redo, Cut, Copy, and Paste functions. We will explain their uses in detail in a later episode. Under Administrator, we have System Setup, which allows us to set the auto backup time. The shorter the duration between backups, the more processing power is used. If you set the time to 0, it means turning off auto backup. Moving on to View, Show Export and Translation Problems, is for inspecting translation issues upon exporting to knit machine code. High-resolution zoom down allows you to see the image better when zoomed out. On the left side panel is the cache image list, which you can toggle on and off. Switch tabs to right to SmartGraph helps you toggle all tabs from Machine Code View back to SmartGraph View in a multi-tab file. Switch tabs to right to Machine Control does the opposite. This only works when all your tabs are translated to machine code already. Under Tools, you can change the default hotkeys of the software. Let's look at some default hotkeys. When moving or importing an image, you can press F3 to toggle the origin of the image. F5 allows you to toggle between SmartKnitter and SmartGraph modules. F6 allows you to type the color number to select a specific color on the palette quickly. F7 allows you to zoom in or out to fit the window. F8 allows you to toggle between the last magnification and 100%. F9 allows you to zoom out at the cursor point, while F10 zooms in at the cursor point. F11 goes to the feeder setup for translation. F12 toggles between SmartGraph and Machine Code View. You can see the whole list of keyboard shortcuts under the Tools menu. Under Settings, you can change the skin of the interface. There are 3 skin colors: Classic, Cozy, and Dark. You can choose whichever suits your needs. You can also change the background color of the canvas here. To change back to default, simply click Reset. In Settings, you can change the Auto File Name rule and other settings, which have been introduced in previous classes. In Tools, you can open the Cloud Library panel, which provides free resources for both swatches and styles. Let's first look at the Swatches Cloud. You can click on the swatches to see details such as the density, gauge, and yarn of the swatches. Simply click Download, and the swatch knit structure repeat will be loaded to your cache image list. Click on the repeat and set the pattern fill parameter as needed. Then you can use it to fill the panel. Let's look at the style library. There are many styles to choose from. Let's select Tian Yi, which is a seamless garment. The style file is downloaded and opened when you click on a style. The styles are already translated into machine code. You can use them as a reference when you are not sure how to create a particular style. We will discuss knit tools in another episode with examples. In Windows, you can toggle between all the open files. The Cascade, Tile Horizontally, and Tile Vertically options allow you to quickly arrange all open files for easy comparison. This marks the end of this tutorial. Thank you for watching.